I'd like to call the budget workshop for July the 9th, 2024 to order. Turn it over to Ms. Sarah.
The first item I have before you, at your next regular council meeting, the council will need to set the tentative millage rate and the date of the first public hearing. So I have provided to you the DR 420 in reference to this. Keeping the millage rate the same, we would get a little over $1 million more in property taxes. So now hold on, growth is astronomical.
Right.
We all know that. And that's what's driving this, because I also have a chart for you, a copy of color, on the new taxable value and how it has increased over the years. But with that increase, you all know that the water and the sewer and providing those services. So staff recommendation is to maintain this millage rate and to help augment the need for providing those services, as well as, the parks and so forth and so on. Now, if Clay was here, he would tell you when you set the tentative millage rate, because of advertising that the property appraiser does, you are allowed to decrease your millage rate without any additional advertisement to the citizens of Freeport. Otherwise, if you increase it, it's going to be costly to the city. So, any comments from the
I agree with
council?
leaving it like it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. The next item that I have related to this will be, again, at your next regular meeting, you will set the first public hearing date. And by Florida statute, because the time frame between the first public hearing and the time that you have to advertise and the time that you have to have the final, when you set that first one, it's going to drive when the advertisement occurs and when we have the final. I do have a calendar here. We cannot meet on the same dates that the school board or the Board of County Commissioners meet. That's why I have those on there for you. Now, all of these have to start after 5 p.m. So you can start it at 5:01 p.m. if you want to. Staff would recommend probably having the first public hearing date either the 10th, 11th, or 12th. That would then dictate that the advertisement occurs on the 25th, because that's the date of the newspaper. And then that dictates that the final would be on September 30th.
This is Tuesday.
10th is a Tuesday. I would prefer the 11th or the 12th, simply because there is exactly 15 days between that and the advertising, which is the max that Florida statute allows. So we could do it on the 10th.
Oh, but you're saying it's cutting it close.
It is cutting it close. Let's don't.
So 11 or 12.
The 11th or 12th would be better.
I don't have anything. What do y'all want to do, 11th or 12th of September?
Either one of those days is good.
It's fine with me.
This is in September. I don't know
Let's
if
put
there's anything else
11th
going
or
on.
12th?
Or 12th of September, do you have anything?
11th.
11th sounds
Is
good.
the 11th okay, or you want the 12th? What day do you want? We don't care. What makes you feel more
Let's do it on
comfortable?
the 12th.
The 12th at 5:01?
Okay. Now, ultimately, you will make a motion at your next regular meeting in
Right.
reference to this, but I will have that so it will be September the 12th at 5:01
Yes.
p.m.
Yep. And then you want to do the second one? You
Well,
said,
it's going to drive, then what's going to happen is the advertisement will happen on September the 25th,
okay,
simply because we cannot advertise on the 18th.
right, it's
Because
just,
we have to do 5 days after the advertisement has to be the final.
Okay,
And because the BCC is meeting on the 23rd, that's why we can't advertise on the 18th.
okay, so you want, when will the next one be? Is that 9:30?
September 30th
Okay, all
and
right.
When?
September 30th at 5:01.
And that one you will officially set at your first public hearing.
Okay,
But I'm just following Florida statute,
got it.
you know, so I get what you're,
That's fine, sounds good.
okay. All right,
So
cool.
the 12th and the 30th.
The 12th and the
12th and the
30th.
30th.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay?
Oh,
what's going on?
Thank y'all.
Yeah, that's the, it just takes like a few minutes to read it, so we won't be here long. 12th and the
It's
30th.
basic, it's for the public to come and voice any questions or concerns or whatever. And it becomes the Clay Show. It all is legal and he takes over from there.
Okay,
And so we just follow what has to be done by Florida statute.
okay.
The next item that I have for you, I have, current salaries along with the salary ranges. For your information, I don't think I want to go through each individual one, but I also have included for your information, CPI. Now this is as of May. Later this, about mid to late month, I can get it through June, but currently the cost of living is 3.3% as of May 2024. I'm providing this information because I am seeking from the council direction on what kind of pay raises.
And we can think about that and bring that back. Are you wanting us to tell you that right now? I'd like to analyze it a little bit, the data. I mean, just
Okay.
me, I'd like to look at it a little bit.
I understand. That's
Because off the top of my head, I see people out of their ranges, under their ranges, like maybe we need to make title adjustments, like just scanning what I've seen. So I just want to analyze it a little bit.
okay.
Like I see a few people that are, their current salary is lower than the low end, and I don't like that. They're lower than the low end. So, and then I see some out of the out of the high end, so you gotta kind of balance that. So anyways, just some thoughts off the top of my head.
Okay.
Scanning it looks really good though, I think, Sarah.
Well, this is Chris's spreadsheet.
Oh, Chris, it looks very good.
So I don't want to take credit for it.
It's good,
Um,
it's nice to analyze the data for sure.
And one thing to keep in mind is the ranges were created after a lot of these positions were
Right.
already where they are, so to
For
speak.
sure. Just reading through it. Okay.
And then just added in for your information in reference to the overtime pay rule, the change that has taken effect July 1st, and the proposed for January 1st, 2025. Do you see this sheet on there?
Mm-hmm.
That's just more FYI. And then as far as you're analyzing, there are a few of the employees that were exempt. They are no longer, or that in January, they're currently exempt, but they won't be based off of this if this holds for the January 2025. My understanding is there's a current court case pending, so we'll see. But I just, again, it's in relation to wages. I wanted to make sure that the council had that information.
Last year, didn't we do a raise and then they earned additional with the review, right? Was that right?
What was done last year was a COLA of 3%, and then you could get merit of up to 2 additional percent.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Any other questions or comments on this?
Do you recommend staying with a COLA or a little higher than that?
I would definitely recommend COLA because you don't want people's buying power.
No, I mean, should we go higher than the 3%? your recommendation? I mean, I see the data that's presented, but I was just curious. I mean,
That's one of my things too, is being able
know.
to take care of our
I'm not
employees.
saying, we have a really great staff.
We do. We don't want to lose them.
Well, I'm wondering if we should increase a little higher than the COLA and give them a chance to earn more based on their performance, because I think that's motivational
I do too.
You know,
I agree.
I think we should.
Because we've got some great employees. And we
We're
need
very
to do
lucky,
everything
very
we
blessed.
can to make sure they're taken care of
Yeah,
and that they stay with us.
I think so too.
I agree with that, but didn't we go through all this and go through and give a budget?
Well, that's been, we're not talking about we're talking about blanket, like a raise for all, you know, if we did 4%, let's say, and then they could earn more based on their performance appraisal. We're not talking about, I don't think, hand-picking groups to give
No.
raises to. We're talking about everybody as a whole, we get that. But we can, you know, talk about it more later, but I think we should do more than I mean, the cost of everything has increased significantly. I think we should do more than 3. I'd like to see at least 4, I'm thinking, but.
How do you feel with that, Sarah, if we went to 4?
4, and then merit.
I'd like to see
I
them
can-
earn more than
I can
2% for merit.
I can give you the numbers if you give me direction. If you don't give me direction, I can't give you the numbers.
I'm not going to try to put you on the spot, but
Yeah, the
you
department heads,
supervisors,
what
how do
think?
you feel? How do you think the employees, those that work for you would feel of getting a 4% and then being able to get a,
Gas to get here is not getting any cheaper.
Well, I know it's not, and groceries aren't either.
You know, I've got one employee that drives for Vibro, another one that drives for Depew. You know,
Yeah.
all of mine.
so how do y'all?
The prices around are going up. All the employees, they deserve it. They work the butts off every
They do.
day.
They do.
They do.
And everybody, I'm sure everybody sees it, so they do deserve that 4%.
It is, there's a cost to training. I mean, I
It
wonder
is.
if we did like a 5 COLA and left it at 2% for merit, or do you want to do a 4 COLA and up to 3% merit, so they could get 7% or so? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I need more time to look at all of it.
Okay.
4 to 5, but we look at it when
Because
we
then
all
they
get
could
back
get at
together.
least, they could get at least, you know, they'd get a 4% and then maybe or they could get the COLA and then have more to earn on their review, you know, I don't know.
How about Sarah work it up both ways for you so you can see what the dollars are?
Yeah, do that. Because we need to take care of the employees. And it's not like it's going to break the city.
I would like to see a 4% COLA and like the 2% merit and maybe a 3% merit. You know, the differences. See, maybe they can earn a little bit more from their merit.
Okay.
We should look at that. It's okay.
COLA 4%,
Uh-huh.
merit 2, or 3.
I'd like to see
Up
that.
to 2,
Yeah,
based on scale that's been in existence.
right.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Anything else in reference to salaries? Comments, questions?
I'll probably have some more to ask you when I dig into it a little deeper,
Okay.
but it looks really good.
Okay, now we're going to move on to budget highlights. Please note the draft on there. This is draft. Subject to change, and as a matter of fact, I'm 100% sure there are going to be changes between staff, additions, and council. To try and expedite this for possible birthday parties.
You want to just take our questions then and
Okay.
line by line? I have one thing, really just one thing, y'all. You put my Christmas decoration, thank you very much. The only other thing I wanted to ask about is the pickleball courts. I get stopped all the time about pickleball courts. So can we put in additional money to build these courts? I understand we didn't budget enough last time. How does the council feel about putting in more? Because I'm telling you, I get stopped at church, at the grocery store. I've got emails about the pickleball courts. Everybody wants
I
these
have
courts.
had several.
I get stopped all the
Ask about
time.
Yeah.
So I would love to budget enough for the pickleball courts to be built.
And these, that we had originally were gonna do at the sports complex.
Were they gonna go here, or at the sports complex?
Well, we were thinking about doing them over there at the basketball court, take the basketball court out, and put it over there.
That's only gonna be one.
Yeah, but
Isn't
that'd
it
be
not a
one.
set of 4?
It's usually, that's what the bids that we've sent out before were for.
Because I think we had.
We didn't get any bids.
But
Right, because we only budgeted 180,000, and I think they're more than that. I think it's, close to.
I don't think anybody even responded.
Because it was,
Well, there's a big, long story behind this, and I'll keep it brief. We did budget 180, which we thought was a reasonable price. First 2 times, nobody replied. Then we, on the third try, the lowest or the only bid came in at 325.
yeah.
So I'm not positive if we have another bid out there right now or not, but I know that Chris called some people, Alex has called people, we've asked everywhere.
We've had all kinds of people recommend this one and that and the other, but getting them to do something is difficult because that's considered to be a small project.
Right.
It's a little project not connected to more money to be made.
When was
You
the
get
last
money.
bid put out? That you got with it? Because I'm wondering if we need to budget like 350 to cover everything. If you got 325, was that this year, last year?
No, I
Because
think that
costs
was
have gone up.
in June, I think.
So just in June?
I put a call into Alex because he's handled all this, he's tired of.
And I do agree if we do it, put enough money out there where it's done right, it looks
Yes.
good. It doesn't look cheap.
Yeah. I think we
Because
should
they
put
are
in like
well
three- I wanna
used.
do like 350.
We should check
Or
with
we
Debbie
could-
Hughes and ask her who they're having new pickleball.
Yeah,
Who is it?
Debbie
Hey
Hughes.
Debbie?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We could ask
if
her who they
I
use.
wondered who built the ones in Hammock Bay, because they have them there, they have them at the Bay Club, they've got a few sets of them. So what do you think about budgeting like 350 for the pickleball courts, or
On
even
top
a
of
little
the
bit more?
180?
No, with adding it
Adding
total,
it.
right, because we have 180, so make it to get at least to the 350 mark, to make sure we have enough to put the racket, all the stuff that goes with them.
Do it
The
all.
pickleball court's out for bid right now, and the deadline is July 30th.
Okay,
It's on our website, I thought so.
But I think if we add
think we
to
need to add
that,
more money
and when
to
we
it.
get it all done,
we can get somebody.
no.
I can ask the HOA who did their courts.
And I'm gonna say one thing, I'm gonna tag in on what you said. I do appreciate where we keep doing for the Christmas.
Yes.
And I talked with Brad today, I do want to be able to see, because I've had a lot of people that has asked me for us to please do what we can to bring more decorations out there to our sports complex.
So he's got some money in there for it.
Because people love to go out there, they want to see it.
Is that enough money? Well, what were you planning on doing with that money, Red? Is that enough, or do you need some more?
Well, depends on what kind of Christmas lights we get put out there, how many Christmas lights, it all depends on.
I think we need some more money than
I do too.
5,500. I don't know that, I think we should put a little bit more.
We can put-
I mean, it looks good what
I know
we're
we'll
doing
build
around
on
the
it each
city,
year, but,
and
you
we're
know.
putting on the poles to light them up. But truthfully, to me, we need them out there too at the sports complex.
I'd like to see that.
And where it really looks good.
Are you talking about putting lights in the trees that are around Winter Circle?
Well, however you can do it, or however you gotta do it to either cover up your extension cords or whatever you gotta do. I mean, you can't worry about every single thing.
Right.
Because when you go up to the lake yard in the Puniac, there's
Oh my
cords
gosh,
everywhere.
it's nothing but wall-to-wall extension cords.
If you go in my yard at Christmas, it's
Which
extension
I
cords.
love, thank
I do
you,
too.
from the bottom of my
Everybody
heart.
loves your
Yeah.
yard.
But I think we need, I'm gonna use a phrase that my son Drew says. You wanna make it pop.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what he tells me about our yard when he does our yard at Christmas. Dad, you gotta make it pop. And that is something, to me, I love Christmas. I love the
I do
lights.
too. I do
And
too.
people love to be able to get out and see them.
What
So-
do you think you should raise it up to?
What do you think, Mayor?
But if you do pole decorations, the minimum on those are about $600 a piece.
See, I'm thinking like 20,000 is what they need, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too high, that's
I
what I
think
think.
20,000.
I think about 20,000, because you can reuse it and build on it
5,000's
too.
not gonna get a whole
No,
lot.
that's gonna be just a little bit, because the lights, they're pretty expensive, so.
I mean, the Freeport, the sports park is where
Can we
everybody
put
goes, it's like the
20,000
focal
in?
point.
Do you have lights on those poles?
I don't want it to look rinky dink.
No, you don't want it to look
There is lights,
rinky dink.
At least that much to put
but
it
they
in.
don't put all
But you can't put those pole decorations on if you don't have lights that are on the poles.
They do, there is lights out there on the poles, but they're not gonna be bright enough, and there's no electric. The only electric we have is the ones that we put in, last year.
Last year.
On the ends of the football field for the lights that we wrapped around the oak trees around the circle.
Mhm.
And that's the only electric we have.
Well, Mayor, maybe you can work with the Parks Department on some decor, you know, and things for them to do out there.
Well, we went to Andalusia and we looked to the showroom and looked at
Yeah.
things, and I have an email, waiting for a reply on the email right now,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Do
Well,
you
I'd
think
like-
20,000 is enough out there, Mayor, to start with?
Yeah.
Let's put 20,000
Yeah, let's do
for
that.
there.
Total of 20,000.
Total of
Total of
20,000.
20,000
Yeah,
For the park.
for the park, and then your 40,000 for the other lights.
I have a question. I was looking at the highlights, and Chris and I were talking today about perhaps a large-scale scanner. We're in great need of one. I don't know when it's appropriate to ask you guys about that.
That's fine. I'm
So
fine with the scanner.
the sewer department has a large amount of maps, and so does water and planning and pretty much everything. So I didn't know if you wanted us to get more updated quotes for them.
I want to ask you too, Latilda, we talked about it the one time about, will this end up with enlarging our maps? Or is this
If we
totally
had-
something
If we
different?
had a decent scanner, then we could print large maps.
Yeah.
But it's,
I
but
know, we
what we're
definitely-
talking
we
about
need
is
that.
a scanner. We're not talking about a copier or a blueprinter. We're talking about something where you can scan documents and have an electronic. So we're
Well, we
talking
need
about-
something too
You're talking
that,
about
you can do
something
the
that not
maps.
only
sure.
scans, but can print out copies in a large format.
yes.
Yeah, bring
That's
back
a
some
different
pricing on it.
sheet.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. We're all fine with that. They need that.
I'll help
Okay.
Kathy figure that out. It's gonna make a real difference in the price.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
we
just
need
scanning to
it.
like, to,
That's fine.
you know, a hard drive is different than having something, and the ink is ridiculous. But
But
that
it's
being
something
said,
that,
it would be nice to be able
it's
to
something
print out
we need.
large,
Yep, that's fine.
rather than have to go to UPS like we do
Yeah.
now, or to ask Dewberry to print things for us.
That's fine. I do love all the maintenance upkeep for the parks. I like that we're gonna replace the netting and some other things and repairs, so I like that we're doing that. And some of the ball lights, that's really good.
No, ball lights, this is the second.
Right.
And we'll
I mean,
have
we're
the
doing another
final
one,
year.
but
will
I'm
be
glad we're doing it.
26.
It looks good.
I have one item on planning that hasn't been brought up yet. We've been talking about public safety improvements. We've had multiple conversations with sheriff's department's representatives about putting a full glass wall across that front foyer portion so that the front door can unlock like a door normally unlocks, but then we have to buzz them in to come back into our space. Kind of like the wall that, well, exactly like the wall that
Yeah.
we got when Barbara was up here out
Mhm.
front, but do it as a safety improvement.
Okay.
And we actually contacted a couple of folks and got some quotes. And it's going to be in the range, just for that section, and I just broke my glasses, between 15 and 17,000 to do that improvement. Just that improvement, which we feel, talking over and over, that if we're going to do something, that's going to provide the most benefit. It's going to be the biggest safety upgrade that we can do.
I agree with you.
That's fine.
You know, Charlie had, when he
Yeah.
was here.
Charlie wanted us
was
to
going
do
to
that
do
at that
that.
time, but,
Yeah.
you know, time, money,
Yeah,
priority, but I wanted to
That's
try
fine.
to get I mean, we might just make it around 20,000 so that we can upgrade that
Yeah.
front wall to be completely clear so that you can see.
No, I agree with you.
I'm fine with that too.
Again, just a safety improvement.
That sounds good. It looks good.
Before we leave the first page, I want to ask, are there any questions in reference to the community center? Getting it built and then having it ready for customers, citizens of Freeport to use.
So is that amount with the 1.4 million carryover, or is that in addition? Okay, so that's total.
That's total.
Okay, got it. That
And
looks
sound
good to me.
attenuation are, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, those are the panels that go in between the windows that's going to control the bouncing of the sound throughout. We talked about that, and we can order something that's really good that you can order them to have scenes from old Freeport if you were to do, to cover them. So it's going to provide a function for it, but it also is decorative.
That'd be good. Now, y'all are on the stage, are you getting the,
Sound and lights in here, I got that to Sarah.
and
There
we,
is, I don't know where it's covered, there is some ADA improvements that I know Tony's making to the stage. It's going to have an automatic lift. It's either going to be at the front corner of the stage, or you go in the side door and it lifts just inside that door and up into the stage, so the stage is ADA compliant. I don't know if that's included here or not, I'm not sure. Sam, do you have any idea?
I haven't received that number from Tony, so I don't.
We don't have the number on that piece of equipment, I have no idea. I'm sure it's probably not cheap, I don't know exactly how much that is, but it's absolutely necessary. If you're gonna have a stage, we've got to be able to,
oh, yeah.
there's several different ways you can do it. You can do the long sloping ramp, which takes up a great deal of room, or you can have an automatic lift. And I think that probably people who do need the lift would appreciate being able to open the door, go into an area so that everybody in the room isn't watching.
No, I agree with you
down.
there.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just
And space is
kind of more respectful, if you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So
I cannot wait to see this when it's finished.
I'm very excited about this space and how versatile it's going to be for everything that we want to do. I'm very excited about that. I don't have a dollar amount, but I'm going to make a note to get,
I've got it, yeah.
you've got it down. We'll find out from Tony and get that information to Sarah. I don't know how much the ADA lift will be, but we'll find out. I don't want to get to the end and we need it and we didn't budget for it.
True.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about the people, but I know you're in the middle of your highlights, so I can wait unless you want me to ask you a question.
Now let's move on, because we have a birthday party.
Well, I have one question, just a food for thought. Paul's got, I don't know, 6 or 7 maintenance supervisors open. What are we gonna do to fill these jobs? I think we're gonna have to pay, I think the problem is the pay's too low. Because if we don't have enough employees, he can't run the sewer plant. If there's employees, they can't run their facility, and then that's detrimental to the public.
4 of those were going to be our outside fix-it crew,
Right.
which we haven't had anybody vaguely qualified come through the door for that.
So you can't, it wasn't even the money on that, it's just lack of qualification.
A fair statement.
It was a mixture of both, yes, sir. So the qualified ones wanted an astronomical number, and then there were the unqualified
Okay.
applicants.
We wanted to have like an in-house work crew so that we
Right.
wouldn't, just like Larry just did a water project, instead of paying 80 grand to some contractor, we wanted to build that crew, but, it's hard to find people.
Okay. We'll talk about it the next one, I just noticed that.
Anything else in reference to this first page?
No? Looks
Okay.
good.
Moving right on along, page 2. The water and sewer.
So we're gonna use, you said capacity fees for this new water tower as well, that's,
We haven't asked.
To use, because I calculated, I
great.
was like, ooh, providing that, we can get the project done for the 3 million,
Okay.
yes.
But we have a grant ask out through the Water Management District, I
Okay.
think, for that as well.
We're not just relying on capacity fees, trying to find money every
of
way we
course,
can.
I know.
As
you do.
usual.
I know you do. And then on sewer, they're gonna use some capacity fees on their Great Hammock Bend project.
No, we still have, impact fees.
I'm sorry,
This
impact, I'm
has
sorry.
been a project that has been on the books for a while, my books, to get done.
Yeah,
But, between, I'm wondering if it hasn't been done simply because the sewer plant needs to be upgraded.
Right.
And, because this is gonna give
Yeah, it's
Paul all that much more flow, so I think that's the main reason why.
We've got a lot of really important projects happening all at once, and it's about prioritizing the key thing, which is get that wastewater treatment plant finished,
yeah.
finish the sewer mains. And,
Right.
we've just got a lot of sewer projects right now that we're just trying to prioritize, so.
And, I will say, I'm just trying to not inflate the budget. When a grant's gonna cover 100% of it, I do not put it in the budget, because that's just me
Yeah.
increasing expenses and increasing revenues.
Right,
And that increases the bottom line, and we have that budget ad that we have to put in the
for
newspaper.
these trucks that y'all have, Larry and Paul, is that enough money for them? I know y'all had trouble in the past buying trucks, is that enough money to buy those trucks?
They've got quotes.
It is for your trucks, okay, just making sure, because I know you had trouble finding one, didn't you, Larry, for a little while?
That was due to COVID.
Oh, okay, okay, so that's enough, okay, I just wanted to make sure we had enough in there for those.
Yeah, they got quotes.
Okay, oh, okay,
To-
okay, just making sure. Oh, it looks good, I don't have anything else.
Guys, y'all done a good job.
It is a good job.
Then we will meet, budget workshop again is going to be, what is it, July 25th
25th.
at 5 o'clock?
Yes,
Okay. And.
will that be the final one we'll have?
No,
Oh,
because you
another
didn't give
budget
me
workshop?
enough direction, so I don't
Well, we said
know.
everything looks good. I'm just kidding. We're gonna talk, you're gonna bring us data to talk about the
Yeah.
salaries
Yeah.
next time.
So I'm afraid we'll have to have another one, but.
July 25th, right before the council meeting is at 5.
If there are no other
I don't
questions.
have anything. So next time we're gonna analyze, talk about the salary data, and then anything else that comes up, okay.
Yes, and other things that have come up, update this sheet.
Okay.
Hopefully, we will have values for the items that were discussed tonight.
Okay, sounds good.
Good.
When was that pickleball thing, Kathy?
You said it ends in July?
Hang on, let me double check.
That's what you said.
July something.
July
might have
30th,
that
10 a.m.
Okay, so we might have a number then, potentially. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Budget workshop adjourned.
Good job.